The very core of our existence is either focused on God or focused on evil. It can't be both ways. Which one's it going to be? And listen, everybody look at me. I'm closing up now, and I want you to hear this part of this, if nothing else. Our lives speak of and with our heart language. When you get to know me more, you're going to know that I use the verbiage heart language all the time. Heart language, to me, is the core of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. Heart language is the core of hearing from God. Heart language is the core of everything that we do in discipleship and the processes of trying to expand the kingdom of God. Heart language. What is your heart language? What is the heart language? The language we must hear for our hearts to understand that we then use to communicate through our lives. What does your heart have to hear today to make you want to live? Some of you, it is not Jesus. Some of you, it's a girl. Some of you, it's a guy. Some of you, it's a substance. Some of you, it's just outright rebellion. Some of you, maybe it is music. Maybe it's movies. Maybe it's images. There's something in all of our lives that fights for our attention and try to get the attention of our hearts. Whatever that is, that's the language that your heart hears, and that's the language that you're going to speak with your life. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Whatever is in the core of your heart is the language that your life is speaking. Now think about that for a second. What is your life saying? If you're really listening to me right now, you're at a precipice. And if you're tuning me out, that says a whole lot about where your heart is. What language does your heart understand today? What does it take to get through to you? What does it take to reach your core? That is the language that speaks through your life. Here's the language of Christ. Let me read this to you. Because you might be here tonight and you may not know Jesus. Listen to this. The message is near you. It's right here. In your mouth and in your heart. This is the message of the faith that we proclaim. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. With the heart one believes. With your core, you believe. And with that comes righteousness. And with the mouth one confesses, which results in salvation. For everyone who calls upon the name of the Lord will be saved. That's the good news. That's the good news. Here's the bad. Watch this clip.
I think spirituality exists mostly in art and in music. And the last place you're going to find it is in religion. I think church has very little to do with spirituality. I think it's something you have to find in yourself. It's about expressing your deepest fears and your emotions and putting it in something. It's not about living in fear and praying and hoping you're not going to go to hell. That's not very spiritual to me. Usually people hate what they're afraid of. It's the classic story. I think that even kind of goes back to Jesus, you know. They were afraid and didn't understand him, so they killed him. And I think the same thing kind of exists in music. You know, maybe I should just become a Christian and make them all happy. But I think if I found Jesus, which I didn't know he was lost in the first place, if I did, I don't think he would probably be that much different than me, you know. He's a long-haired guy that likes to, you know, dress sexy. A lot of chicks were into him. It's not that different from what I do, you know. That probably horrifies Christians more than anything to hear that, but I don't disagree with a lot of the ideals that he was trying to get across. I just don't like the way people have used them to exploit others and to make, you know, even children feel guilty for having imagination and wanting to be individuals. I like to look at all different religions. You know, I find valuable elements in, you know, Judaism and Satanism and Buddhism and And in Christianity as well, I think you can just take different things that you can apply to your life. But if you follow anything solely, you know, that's as stupid as listening to everything that I have to say. I guess in '79 they outlawed lunchboxes because they said that they were weapons, you know, in the hands of children. I thought that was kind of a beautiful little irony. The only one that I actually saved as a kid was this Kiss one. And I wasn't allowed to take it to school, at Christian school, because they said that, you know, night in Satan's service, so. Seminars where they played records backwards and they said, don't listen to these because, you know, the secret messages will get to you. And apparently they did get to me because I went out and bought all the records that they didn't want me to listen to. But music was always an escape for me. It was a place where there were no judgments, a place where I didn't have to think about the real world, you know, a place where I could be myself. Enjoy your faults. That's what separates you from the rest of the world. That's what makes you special.
You know, I could have been him. Did you see the similarities? Christian church, Christian home. You know, it separates. And some of y'all are sitting there and you're wondering, what am I doing playing that clip? Listen to me. That could have been me right there, man. Why was it not me? Because I have a relationship with Jesus. And as you hear my story, you're going to find where the bottom of the barrel is. But for tonight, I want you to hear this. The only thing that separates me and anyone else in this room from being that young man right there is faith and grace and the love of Jesus Christ. There's nothing better about you than him. There's nothing worse about him than you. The only difference is, and I've heard Rick Jones say it, I've heard my daddy say it all my life, but there before the grace of God go you and me, baby. Here's the difference. Marilyn Manson grew up in Christian schools. He heard the same ridiculous mess I heard. He got the same teasing that I got. But he didn't have the core foundation of Christ in his heart that I had. He was terrified every week. Every week there was some other prophet coming in and saying the end of the world's coming on this day. Scared him his whole life. Now guys, I don't know what it is for you. I don't know if it's music for you like it was for me, and obviously it is for him. I don't know what your escape is. But the only difference between you and him, me and him, hopefully, is the stairway to heaven.